Hey everyone, welcome to week number 2 in EDCI 6615. The topic this week is special needs and online learning environments. But before we start looking at practices that we could begin to implement in blended and online learning environments, why not take a look at what students are already actually doing in these spaces? If you remember from the readings last week, Jenkins mentions that our students are already involved in very rich online social environments. And in many instances, kids reported learning more outside of school in their own social online environments that they did in school. So a couple of years ago, I was teaching third grade, and I had a few students that were struggling readers. When the pandemic hit, it was a bit of a challenge getting kids back online, and then one of the days I hosted a Roblox party. Now, I wasn't sure exactly how to play Roblox, although I'd spent a couple hours trying to figure out how to navigate through that platform, but honestly, I just didn't get it. I showed up online that day. We were all on Zoom, and all the kids were able to log in pretty easily. I even remember one of the kids' kindergarten brothers logged in before I did, and all the kids were having a laugh at my expense. And then what surprised me is what I couldn't learn on my own, studying the app, all the kids had actually taught me in about a half hour, and then I really enjoyed it. We were actually playing hide and go seek and different games, and all of a sudden Roblox became a very enjoyable experience for me. And so I began to wonder, how is it that some of my special needs students and students that were struggling reading, how are they navigating this space so well? And it seems like they're doing it independently. You know, how does that translate over to the classroom? And so in this week's readings, you'll see that Jenkins talks about participatory learning, and he says there's informal mentoring into digital learning spaces, a feeling of social connection, low barriers to engagement, and these were all the things that I had to have in place for me to be successful with Roblox. So then if I think about what this looks like in the class, this could very well be, the first bullet would be student agency, the second bullet would be building connections, and then finally the low barriers would be maybe like zone of proximal development and how I'm differentiating for kids to be able to access the content. So this week, the discussions and the activity, I'll be back. And so this week, the discussions and the assignments carry you through those themes. So make sure that you participate in Flipgrid and share all your journal notes and your qualitative coding in the autoethnography assignment. For this project to be really meaningful, you want to make sure that you talk to some of the students or the community that you serve. Last year, I had a student that was working in adult learning, and she studied WhatsApp because it was very important in the community she was serving. I had another high school teacher who was exploring Twitch. And then the majority of my elementary and middle school educators were exploring Among Us, YouTube, Fortnite and Minecraft, and Roblox. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.